Thailand or the friendly country try to separate them, and scattering around all over the world. No one stay in Cambodia. Who will occupy Cambodia?
In a certain sense, what we hope to do is to make Cambodia Vietnam's Vietnam.
All my children forget my country. I must explain where is Cambodia, what is Cambodia.
These Cambodians, victims of genocide, warfare, and famine in their own country, were forced to flee to neighboring Thailand. With the help of the United Nations, Thailand has constructed a number of camps to house the survivors. There are over 250,000 Cambodian people, properly called Khmer, along the Thai-Cambodian border. The United Nations Border Relief Operation, known as UNBRO, is responsible for feeding them. Each week, each household must be supplied with rice, canned fish, and some vegetables. Since there's no water at Site 2, the largest of the camps, UNBRO trucks in water for the entire population. This requires 224 tank trucks each day, 365 days a year.
It is the third largest city in Thailand, after Bangkok and Chiang Mai, and the second largest city of Cambodia. Because out of 140,000 and 142,000, all are Khmers here, except the 4,000 on the platform. They're all Khmers here. So it is the biggest town after Phnom Penh, bigger than Battambang. I think the UN is doing a very good job, I must say, as regards food distribution and water distribution. That never fails, whether rain or no rain. The trucks are on time. The water service is fantastic, to my mind.
Here in Site 2, it is food distribution day for one section of the camp. Long lines of people come to have their ration cards checked and receive their food allotment. Many of the adults have been in the camp for 8 years. Having survived the dangerous trek to Thailand, these Khmer are now confined to camps controlled by the Thai army. The camps are as close as 1 kilometer to the border and lie within easy range of Vietnamese artillery. Shelling, though infrequent, remains a constant threat. The turbulent recent history of Cambodia has seen the rise and fall of many regimes, but none has matched the murderous ferocity of the Khmer Rouge. The Khmer Rouge, or Red Khmer, are the communist forces who defeated the US-backed government of General Lon Nol and seized power in 1975. Under the leadership of Pol Pot, their ruthless policies, illustrated in the popular film The Killing Fields, resulted in the deaths of up to half the Cambodian population. 1979 saw the overthrow of the Khmer Rouge regime in Phnom Penh by Vietnamese forces. Since then, Cambodia, now called the People's Republic of Kampuchea, has been ruled by the Vietnamese-backed Khmer government led by President Hang Sam-Rin. A guerrilla resistance movement, the Coalition Government of Democratic Kampuchea, opposes the Vietnamese-installed government in Phnom Penh and is fighting to regain control of Cambodia. Operating from bases along the Thai border, this tripartite alliance of convenience couples 2 non-communist factions in an uneasy coalition with the Khmer Rouge.
In India, I'd come across a tremendous amount of misery and poverty and anguish in the slum of Calcutta and Madras. But I had the impression that there was still more anguish and anxiety and suffering here. And I really wanted to share, to have that experience of a deeper suffering. I'm convinced now that when I compare the two types of suffering and anguish, how do you do? I'm convinced that in a way the suffering here is, the anguish is deeper because there are people who have lost everything. In Calcutta, in the slum of Calcutta, I work with Mother Teresa down there. There is a tremendous amount of poverty, but people are at home. They are free. They are in their own country. Here, there are people who are really on the run. They don't know where to go. They don't know where to stay.
UNRWA was established by a United Nations General Assembly resolution, and its function was to supply relief and aid, care and maintenance to the Cambodian refugees on the border. It's set up to function only here. It's the only part of the world where you will find any UN GROW, and it's set up to exist until the Khmer refugees go back to their homes. So it's limited in time, hopefully, and in place, practically.
This classical dance school is located in Site 2. It was founded by two of the few surviving members of the Royal Khmer Dance Troupe.
My involvement in the whole Cambodian issue really goes back to the summer of 1975. I was on a trip to Thailand. On our trip to the border, Charlie Twining told me about what was going on inside of Cambodia. He indicated that the country had been transformed into a kind of Asian Auschwitz, and how Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge were in the process of systematically slaughtering tens of thousands of their fellow Cambodians. He told me, for example, how there was reason to believe that the Khmer Rouge were systematically killing every Cambodian who wore glasses, because that seemed to suggest that they were people who had acquired an education and who therefore needed to be exterminated if all traces of the old Cambodia were going to be extirpated from the country. It was hauntingly similar to the fate which had befallen the Jewish people in Nazi-occupied Europe.